The Young Sheldon TV show, a spin-off of the hugely popular series, The Big Bang Theory, has garnered a dedicated fan base thanks to its charming portrayal of a young Sheldon Cooper and his family. However, like many TV shows, it is not without its share of unexpected twists and production challenges. One of the most talked about moments from the show occurred with the funeral episode for George Cooper, Sheldon's father, in Season 6. This episode was met with a mix of anticipation, grief, and controversy. But what truly made this episode notable was the fact that it had to be re-edited after its initial production due to unforeseen circumstances. To understand why, we need to explore the context of the episode, the timing of its release, and the production choices that were made in response to unforeseen events. The funeral episode of George Cooper. For those who may not be familiar, Young Sheldon follows Sheldon Cooper's early life in Texas, depicting his upbringing in a loving, albeit sometimes dysfunctional, family. George Cooper, played by Lance Barber, is a central character in the show. He's Sheldon's father, and though he's often portrayed as a well-meaning, albeit flawed, man, he has a complex relationship with his children and his wife, Mary Cooper. Throughout the show, George has dealt with various personal struggles. He's seen as a hard-working man who loves his family, but is often overwhelmed by the pressures of life, especially his role as the father of a genius child. In the show's narrative, fans had been bracing for George's eventual death, which was hinted at in the original Big Bang Theory series, when Sheldon mentions that his father passed away when he was a teenager. George's death is a pivotal moment for Sheldon's emotional growth, and it's a storyline that has been teased for years in the spin-off. The funeral episode for George Cooper in Young Sheldon was a significant milestone for the show, as it represented the culmination of a long-running storyline. It offered a chance to explore Sheldon's emotional vulnerability and the impact of losing a parent, something that was never fully explored in The Big Bang Theory. But the episode was also controversial for its heavy emotional tone, which diverged from the show's typical lighthearted comedy. The episode showed Sheldon's family coming together to mourn the loss of their patriarch, with heartfelt moments and a somber reflection on the impact George had on their lives. The unforeseen tragedy behind the re-edit. The need for the re-edit became apparent after the original airing of the episode. The timing of the release coincided with a very real-life tragedy that affected both the production team and the viewers in unexpected ways. The re-edit was not due to creative differences or poor reception of the episode. Rather, it was the result of a real-world situation that prompted a shift in how the episode was presented. The re-edit was required because the timing of the funeral episode's release aligned with the tragic passing of actor Lance Barber's father, who played George Cooper. This unexpected event created an intense emotional situation for Barber, and the producers felt that the episode as originally conceived had taken on a layer of real-world grief that needed to be handled with care and respect. The decision to re-edit the episode was made with Barber's well-being in mind, as well as the show's commitment to showing empathy toward the cast and crew during such a difficult time. While the episode's content did not change dramatically in terms of its narrative or emotional tone, the re-edit involved adjusting certain moments in the episode to ensure that they didn't unintentionally mirror or amplify the grief that Barber was going through. This included altering some of the dialogue and adjusting the pacing of certain scenes, particularly those that focused on George's death. The re-edit helped to ensure that the episode remained a poignant and heartfelt tribute to the character, without inadvertently causing any discomfort for the actor or viewers, who might have been reminded of Barber's own loss. The impact on the show's legacy. The decision to re-edit the episode also had a lasting impact on the legacy of Young Sheldon. It highlighted the show's sensitivity toward its cast, as well as its ability to balance lighthearted moments with more serious and emotional subject matter. This re-editing decision sent a clear message that Young Sheldon was not just another sitcom. It was a show that took its characters and their emotions seriously, and it was willing to adjust its content to protect the emotional well-being of those involved. For fans, the funeral episode of George Cooper became even more meaningful after the re-edit. It was no longer just a fictional story about a father passing away. It became a reflection of the real-life emotions that were at play for the cast and crew during the filming of the episode. This added a layer of authenticity to the show's portrayal of grief, making it feel more genuine and heartfelt. Viewers could empathize with Sheldon's loss, not just as a character in a story, but as a reflection of the real-life emotions that Barber was processing in his personal life. The re-edit also brought attention to the sometimes overlooked aspect of television production, the emotional labor that actors and crew members invest in their roles. In this case, the death of a character on screen became intertwined with the real-world loss that an actor was experiencing. The re-edit allowed the producers and writers to show a level of professionalism and compassion that respected both the storyline and the people involved in creating it. The broader implications for TV production. The re-editing of the funeral episode is part of a broader trend in the entertainment industry where creators are becoming increasingly aware of the emotional toll that certain storylines can take on their cast and crew. In the past, TV shows may not have been as mindful of how real-world events could impact the production process. However, with greater awareness of mental health and emotional well-being in the industry, shows like Young Sheldon are setting a new standard for how to handle sensitive topics in a way that is both respectful and compassionate. Moreover, the re-edit of the funeral episode also speaks to the evolving nature of storytelling in television. While many TV shows stick to predetermined story arcs, Young Sheldon demonstrated that it was willing to make changes when necessary to ensure the emotional tone remained appropriate for both the cast and the audience. This flexibility and willingness to adjust the narrative for the sake of emotional integrity is a key aspect of modern television production. Conclusion. The re-editing of the funeral episode for George Cooper in Young Sheldon is a testament to the delicate balance that must be struck between storytelling and the real-world, emotional experiences of both the cast and the audience. While the episode was a significant moment in the series, its re-editing allowed it to be a poignant tribute to the character of George Cooper without causing undue emotional strain on the cast or viewers. It also highlighted the broader industry trend of prioritizing the emotional well-being of everyone involved in the production process, ensuring that television remains not only a medium for entertainment but also a space for empathy and understanding.